A while ago, I gave myself 7 days to learn how to draw. And to be honest, I thought it went pretty well. So, in my wisdom, I thought I could do the same thing with animation. The ultimate goal of this challenge is to make an outro video, but we'll have to work up to that. First be learning the basics, so that what I end up making in the end is something that I'm proud of and not some stick figure doing windmill happenings. The software I'll be using is Toon Squid, animating at 24 frames per second and in twos, meaning each drawing takes up 2 frames. After doing research online and hours of listening to the angelic voice of Alex Griggs, I decided to begin with timing and spacing to create the visual effects of acceleration, deceleration, and constant speed. Now, to make this more realistic, I added a squash and stretch to exaggerate moments of acceleration and deceleration. I also tried a pendulum swing to practice my timing and to mimic the effects of gravity. And far out, I severely underestimated how long animation takes. Just these basic 5 seconds of animation took me nearly 3 hours to make. Day 2, I wanted to combine everything that I had learned. People online had suggested a magic dot exercise which allows you to combine those fundamentals while also giving you the creative freedom to do whatever you wanted. And what I made was actually pretty cool and easy to look at.
Boing. Pew 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 pew. Subscribe.
Day 3, I didn't actually do any animation. I wanted to make a character that I could use to practice these animation principles that I had just learned. I recently watched the Headspace series about meditation, and I really liked a lot of the animation that they used. So, I wanted to make something inspired by that. My first few attempts were horrifying and looked like some cupcake monster from a diabetic's nightmare.
What the hell is even that?
After a few revisions, I managed to make a more polished character with some resemblance to a certain handsome man. Also, it didn't have eyes, meaning I had one less thing to animate. I then drew the character from multiple angles and attempted bone rigging. And holy shit, I wanted to throw my iPad out the door. This shit was so needlessly complicated. But Jack, if it's so hard to learn bone rigging, why don't you just redraw the images? Firstly, no. I'm only wanting to create a basic animation from 1 or 2 perspectives. But secondly, remember, I'm trying to learn this in 7 days, so bone rigging will give me a way to keep everything proportionate without having to redraw hundreds of frames. After having my soul sucked from learning how to bone rig, I wanted to test it out. I decided a simple jump animation would be a safe start. And after multiple adjustments, I was able to create a simple loop, having the legs bend before takeoff and after landing to give some anticipation and deceleration. I also played around with changing the size of the hair to give a feel of gravity. A little janky, but it's a start. Day 5, I tried the same thing, except with a walking cycle. I was so concentrated on getting the legs right, I didn't consider the bobbing people do when they walk. So it looks a little bit robotic, but believable enough. With 2 days to go and how long those other animations took, I decided to start planning out my outro video. First, I had to pick an outro song, which I wanted to be fun and upbeat. You'll get to hear it at the end of the video. I wanted the animation to be excited and active, so I started keyframing a bunch of loopable movements that my character could transition in between. My final day was just filling in gaps and polishing as best I could with the remaining time I had. The final project is still a little bit janky, but after the hundreds of times I've rewatched it while making it, it still makes me smile. I think it's cool, which was the goal of this challenge, so I'm happy. And with this new learned skill, and all these videos I've been seeing on game development, maybe I'll try learn how to code in it. Otherwise, enjoy.